In our last episode, Odie was very worried about the king's health and suggested that he take up a hobby to help him relax and forget the cares of state. King Leonardo, who fancied himself as the athletic type, was all for the idea, but it turned out the king wasn't quite the sportsman he thought he was. First, they tried bowling. Then they tried tennis. But the king said tennis gave him a pain, so they tried kite flying.
She's going up! She's going up!
Then the king tried golf. As it turned out, the king was no better at this than he was at any other sport, until he was accidentally hit on the head with a ball. And for some strange reason, this knock on the noggin turned him into the hottest golfer the world has ever seen. Every time he hit the ball, he made a hole-in-one. So elated was he that he promptly organized the Blue Blood Golf Tournament, forgetting in his excitement that the only other blue blood in the entire kingdom was his no-good brother, Itchy.
Hey, Big, take this crazy invite from His Royal Highness. It's for the Blue Blood Golf Tournament. The king and I, the only blue bloods in Bongo Congo. But I don't dig golf.
All you're gonna learn, see? There's a solid gold cup as first prize, and it's worth 50,000 bongo bucks.
But, Big, that game is Ensville. They play it outdoors, like in the fresh air, man. I mean, how square can you get?
This square. And that's how square you're gonna be permanent if you don't do what I say, see?
Yeah, okay, Big, I dig.
Check. Now let's start practicing. All right, address the ball.
Sure thing, Big. Who are we mailing it to?
You put ahead, stand in front of it. Left arm stiff. Elbows close to body. Bend left knee. Hips swivel. Club back slowly. Wrists cocked. Head down. There, Rich, you look like a real pro. You're never gonna be a champion, but no matter. I got plans, see?
The historic match was held at historic St. Santrap's golf course, and all the counts and the no accounts were there. The king was in rare form and blasted one hole-in-one right after another, leaving Itchy Brother far behind. Then on the seventh hole, a drive of Itchy's clobbered the king, and once again he was a rotten golfer. To make matters worse, Biggie began putting his evil plans into effect. Every time the king did hit the ball, something happened. Trees sprang up as if by magic. Waterholes appeared out of nowhere. And sand traps showed up everywhere. And when the king did manage to get near the hole, Biggie pulled the old switcheroo of the ball, so when the king putted... So effective were Biggie Rat's tricks that by the time the last hole came up, Itchy Brother and King Leonardo were tied. If the king lost this match, he would lose more than a gold cup.
He will lose his self-respect, something a king should never lose. The only thing that will save him now is a hole-in-one. 1,000 pardons, sire. Now swing, sire, swing!
Odie's plan worked. The blow on the head had once again turned King Leonardo into the hottest golfer around. His final drive was a sensational hole-in-one. The king was victorious at last.
Brilliantly played, Your Highness.
Yes, it was brilliant, wasn't it? I had to let Itchy catch up there. Couldn't beat the fellow too badly. After all, he is my brother. But then I was suddenly struck by the thought that I'd better make a hole-in-one. So naturally I did.
You are just a born golfer, Your Highness.
Yes, well, some of us are, some of us aren't. And I never felt better in my life. All work and no golf makes Leonardo a dull king, what?
But would the king feel so relaxed if he knew that even now Biggie and Itchy are planning revenge? Don't miss the next exciting episode of The King and Odie.